Today's a special day, and a special day calls for a special hat. And I also recorded this video without my microphone, and it sounded like garbage, so now I gotta do it again, and hopefully it's as good as the first time around, because it was pretty good the first time. So, here we go again. You think I'd figure this out by the 365th video, but hey, I guess you don't. So, 365 days, anniversary. I still can't talk even after 365 videos, but the 365th anniversary, no, whatever. It's the 1 year anniversary of me making a video a day for the past year, right? That's pretty crazy, pretty nuts that most of you scrolling through wherever you're scrolling have seen my face talking about something for literally every single day for the past year. So you're welcome. But the point of it is I made it 365 days. Not that I ever doubted I'd make it, but days usually get pretty crazy, and sometimes it's hard to stick to a routine, right? Because this happens, that happens, and it's hard to continuously keep doing certain things, right? Even though it only takes a few minutes, right? So, it's really hard for people to just stick to eating healthy for like a month or going to the gym for a few weeks, right? And I've figured that out pretty early, where I really just put together that the most important thing about really anything you end up doing, whether it be with like your health, with like business, with growing apples, with whatever it is, it's just consistency. And consistency is like the most important thing that you can do ever, right? Being consistent with everything you do. But to talk about this video challenge, when I first started, I think I had like a list of like, I don't know, 8-10 things maybe that I was going to talk about, just like basic things. You could probably look at my first like 12 videos, and that was like all the ideas I had was, all right, I'm going to talk about this, and that. And then I really had the challenge started as a 31-day challenge, and then I was like, let's just do it for the whole year. So just getting through the first 31 days was difficult. And then after 31 days, I was like, this isn't that bad. I got stuff to talk about. I'll figure something out, right? Because every day, different things happen to us, and we kind of not that like we just like blow them off, but you could literally make a video or talk about the different things that happen to you every day, and someone will find something like funny in it, or usually something funny, at least for me. But yeah, after that list of the 8 to 10 things that I had, it just kind of ideas ended up like showing up and coming along, right? And it was probably from like people asking me questions, or a comment, or someone asking about something else, right? So that's kind of like how it just kept going and going and going. So it wasn't that bad. I'll post in the comments below the video, my first video that I ever made, or one of my first videos that I ever made. And you can tell that I have gotten a little bit better at making these, mainly because the first one I made, I was like pretty much just looking, like talking over here. Like I wasn't even like looking at the camera. I don't even know. I was like scared to look at it, like it was gonna like attack me or something. I don't know. Like a bear, right? You don't look at a bear in his eyes, or do you? Whatever, right? So I was just scared. I was like the whole time I was just like looking all around. It was just weird. So pretty funny, and a pretty big difference. Plus, I think I'm a lot better speaker, even though I still say a lot of ahs and ums and like stuff like that you're not technically supposed to say as a speaker, but whatever, right? And I say it right a lot too. I know that. But I would challenge you to definitely, if you've watched these videos, to do the same thing. And maybe it's not talking about real estate, maybe it's whatever you're doing, right? And so many people find what you do interesting. You don't even know they find it interesting until you start making these videos, and you'll figure out how many people actually find what you do interesting, and it's crazy, right? Because for me, I found out that so many people that I knew that I was like friends with, they maybe were in real estate and I didn't know anything about it. They didn't know I was in real estate, and by me making the videos, we're able to connect, right? So it was cool to do that. Plus, it probably inspired some people that maybe have a corporate job and they don't like it, or some people that wanted to get into real estate, right? So I would totally recommend you doing this. If you've even like semi thought about it, just do it. It's not that hard. It's not that weird. Just let that like fly out of your mind. It's hard and weird, and it'll work out, right? So I think my main reason for doing this was to help people see that, right? Everyone thinks that if you have some like corporate job, or if you do whatever, if you're a doctor or whatever, that you're successful, right? But if you're miserable, that's not success. That's being miserable, right? It has nothing to do with success. And when I started doing what I enjoy doing, even if I would have made like, I don't know, a fourth of the money that I made as an engineer, which real estate, you make way more money than as an engineer, if you're wondering. It doesn't matter, right? Even if like the money doesn't matter, the money actually matters to those people that keep doing what they don't like doing and are miserable at it, right? Because that's the only incentive they have to keep doing what they have to do, because they're miserable, right? And most people, what they say is like, when you have or like when I have conversations with other people and whatever, they're in engineering, and they ask me like, why'd you quit? And I give them all these reasons. Plus I'm like, plus I can only make like X amount of money. And they're like, oh, it's not all about the money. I'm like, well, you obviously hate your job and you keep going to it, so it's about the money, right? I was willing to give up that paycheck and take a risk and do what I'm doing now, and not making videos obviously, but you know, doing fix and flips and buying apartments and all this other cool stuff that I'm doing now that I actually really enjoy, without knowing if it would work or not, right? So their argument is what I'm trying to get at, of it's not all about money, is irrelevant, and they actually care more about money than you do, right? So anyway, went on a whole different trajectory there. But I would say that if you're thinking about doing this, you should definitely do it, because you never know how many of your friends or people that are watching it relate to what you're doing, and you might inspire someone to do what you're doing, and at the same time you might find out that some people that you're acquaintances with are interested in the same things you are, and you might have never known because you're friends on Facebook since high school and you don't even talk to each other, right? So you should totally do it. And second, you should totally watch my first video and drop it in the comments. It's pretty hilarious how weird and not good it was, but you can totally tell the difference that 365 videos have made. Not that I'm like a highly polished video making machine now, but I am a landslide better. Landslide, is that a word? Landslide better? I'm way better than I was in those first few videos. So anyway, obviously I'm probably going to keep making these videos, just because if I stop, I feel like it's going to be weird, because, you know, after 365 days, this is like a habit. So if I just like didn't do it, I would just be like, oh, I feel like I should be doing something. I shouldn't be. And I feel like I got to sneeze. So we'll end the video there, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great night. And yeah, let me know what the most valuable part of the videos that I have made so far are. I can't speak because I got to sneeze. So have a good one.